Silence isn't punishment, it's graduation. Here's the hook, my friends. When they finally get it, it won't be because you argued better or wrote longer texts. It'll be because you went quiet and stayed quiet. Your silence isn't a pause, it's a policy. And the day it becomes forever, everything changes on their side and everything strengthens on yours. Hey folks, imagine this. You're a lighthouse on a stormy coast. Ships used to circle you, horn blaring, demanding you guide them through waters they chose without you. One day, you stop flashing for every ship, not out of anger, but because you realize you don't exist to rescue people who ignore the map and mock the warning signs. Your light becomes selective, your peace becomes policy. The ships that once took you for granted won't see you as clearly anymore, and that new distance teaches what your words never could. Now, here's the hard stuff. We were told a lie. If you care, you chase. If you love, you explain. If you're strong, you can handle disrespect. No. Real strength is not babysitting someone's patterns while yours are bleeding. Real love includes yourself. Real power is the power to disengage. As Marcus Aurelius said, you always own the option of having no opinion. In simple English, you own the option of not replying, not reacting, not renting your mind to their chaos. And yes, that can feel cold at first, but cold is what ice feels like when it's becoming solid. You're forming a backbone, not running away. Think about it this way, my friends. Your attention is currency. Every second you spend explaining your value to someone who refuses to see it is like throwing gold coins into the ocean and arguing with the waves. You're not broke. You're giving your wealth to a tide that never returns change. Silence is you closing your purse and walking off the beach. A little fun truth. The ocean still crashes whether you argue or not. So let it crash. You buy a better boat. Dark psychology gives us a simple rule. People fear losing access more than they value easy access. When you stop participating, their mind starts working overtime. Why no reply? Did I matter? Did I misread this? Will I ever find that again? That spiral isn't your revenge. It's their reality finally catching up. And your reality? It gets lighter. You sleep better. Food tastes like food again. Music stops sounding like memory. You're not numb. You're healing. Another lie to break. Silence is cruel. No, my friends, silence is clear. Cruelty is using words to keep someone on a leash. Silence cuts the leash for both of you. It says, I'm not your opponent. I'm just done playing. Epictetus would nod here. We are not disturbed by things, but by the views we take of them. Your view shifts from I must explain to I must protect. That's not cruelty. That's wisdom. Picture one more metaphor. You're a phone with 100% battery at sunrise. Every ping, every drama, every we need to talk is an app running in the background, draining you. Silence is hitting force quit on the whole mess. What happens? Battery life returns. Clarity returns. You start using that power for things that actually build you, your health, your craft, your faith, your future. And yes, you laugh again. You make dumb jokes with friends. You stop rehearsing speeches in the shower. You remember you're more than someone's lesson. You're your own life. So, here's our promise today. We're not using silence to hurt. We're using it to heal. We're not performing indifference, we're earning it. We're not proving value, we're living it. Stay with me, because the next steps will show you exactly how to set this boundary with calm strength, how to hold it when the tests come, and how to grow while the noise fades. Type this in the comments to lock it in. I choose calm. Press like, hit subscribe, and stay with me. We're just getting started. Number 1. Why silence is forever, not a tactic, a boundary. Silence isn't what you do to them, it's what you do for yourself. Here's the hard truth, my friends. The strongest move you'll ever make is to walk away and keep walking. Not to punish, not to play games, to protect your mind, your time, your peace. People think power means arguing better, texting longer, explaining your worth like a salesman with a stopwatch. No, power is the quiet door you close and never reopen. Marcus Aurelius said, "You always own the option of having no opinion." In simple words, you own the option of not responding. That option is freedom, and freedom is the first breath you take when the noise dies. Imagine this. You're a bank vault. Inside, your focus, your kindness, your loyalty, your future. For a long time, the door swung wide. Anyone could stroll in, pick up your attention, spend it, and leave you counting losses at midnight. Then one day you set a code only you know. The door doesn't slam in anger, it closes in wisdom. People outside will rattle the handle, knock, maybe kick. Why no answer? Why so quiet? Why aren't you playing the same game? And the vault just hums, safe, steady, guarded. That's you choosing silence like a policy, not a mood. Now the questions start in their mind. Why did you go silent? Did we not matter? Did we overstep? Are we replaceable? Are we losing access? Loss aversion kicks in. The brain fears losing what it thought it owned. Your attention used to be a tap they could turn. Now it's a well on private land. They can see water, they can't reach it. That's not cruelty, that's clarity. Epictetus said, "If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid." In silence, you accept being misunderstood for a while so your life can be understood later. Let's break the lie we were fed. If you care, you keep talking. No. If you care, you stop bleeding. There is a difference between communication and self-erosion. Some of you kept explaining to people who used your words as fuel for the next round. You weren't having a conversation, you were feeding a loop. Silence cuts the loop. It's the surgeon's scalpel. Sharp, clean, final. Hurts? Yes. Heals? Also yes. Why is it difficult? Because your nervous system is trained to chase closure. You think if you say the perfect sentence, they'll finally get it. You rehearse lines in the shower, in the car, in your head at 2 a.m. But closure is not a door they open for you. It's a door you build for yourself. Seneca said, "He who is brave is free." Bravery here is letting go of the fantasy version of them, the version who apologizes on schedule and changes on command. You release the movie in your head and return to the facts in your hands. Let's use another picture. You're a lighthouse on a black ocean. For years you flashed for every ship, even the ones that mocked your light while using it. You finally learn. A lighthouse isn't a people pleaser. It's a landmark. It shines, steady and selective. Ships can take the path or not. The lighthouse is not chasing boats across the sea. When your signal becomes steady instead of reactive, some ships will drift away, some will crash, and some will finally respect the channel. That's not your circus. Your job is the shore. They will fear your silence because it's a mirror. Arguments give them exits: blame, denial, spin. Silence removes the exits. Now the room only has one feature: reflection. Without your reactions, they face their choices. They ask themselves the questions you used to ask them. That's when the what-if spiral begins. What if we were wrong? What if we misread their kindness? What if we lost something we won't find again? You didn't program that spiral. Reality did. You just stopped serving as the escape hatch. But let's be honest, your silence will test you too. You'll feel the itch to explain. You'll want to peek, check their status, read their jokes, track their steps. That itch is the old habit calling for a fix. Breathe. Ask, does this move build me? If not, it's a no. Your attention is a budget. Spend it where it compounds. Training, reading, building a skill, cleaning your space, cooking your food, calling a true friend, prayer, meditation, walking in the evening air. Use your body to teach your brain a new story. I am not starving for attention. I am feeding on purpose. Here's a fun nudge with a sharp edge. Pretend your phone has a life tax app. Every time you open their profile, it deducts 1 hour from your day and 1 point from your peace. Would you still tap it? Most of us would stop in a week. Guess what? Your nervous system already pays that tax. We just don't see the invoice until we're empty. Silence closes the app and refunds your energy, slowly at first, then faster than you expect. Another lie to smash. Silence means you don't care. False. Silence means you care with boundaries. You can hold compassion without holding the door. You can wish them well on a road you don't walk anymore. Compassion does not require contact. Respect does not require access. You don't hate them. You just don't hand them the keys. In easy English, love can exist without the loop. Why do they think your silence is punishment? Because control felt like safety to them. When they could summon you with a ping, they felt important. When they could stir your emotions, they felt powerful. Your silence collapses that illusion. Control is gone. Levers don't work. Buttons do nothing. This isn't revenge, it's gravity. What falls wasn't fixed. It was only held up by your constant effort. Remove the effort, and reality sits where it belongs. There's a moment you'll notice. The pulse drops. Their name appears and your heart stays quiet. Not cold, calm. That's the first sign your silence has become forever. Not a silent treatment, not manipulation, a boundary. You are not dangling a carrot. You are not timing a return. You are not counting the days to make a point. You are living. The door is closed not to trap anyone, but to keep the weather out while you build a home inside. Keep a simple practice for the hard minutes. 3 breaths, 3 truths. Breath 1, I don't owe anyone my peace. Breath 2, I don't chase what confuses me. Breath 3, I protect what I grow. Then do 1 small physical action. Drink water, step outside, do 10 push-ups, tidy 1 corner. Your body anchors the decision your mouth doesn't need to speak. If they circle back, you don't need speeches. You need standards. Standards are short. We don't restart old patterns. Respect is shown, not promised. No access without accountability. If they can't meet that, silence continues. If they can, you still move slowly. Remember, you set the code on the vault for a reason. People can be forgiven. Patterns must be replaced. Here's where we rise. You are not choosing silence to win. You are choosing silence to heal and to honor who you're becoming. You will be tempted to use it as a weapon. Don't. Weapons hurt both hands. Boundaries build both sides. Yours with peace, theirs with truth. As Epictetus taught, we suffer more in imagination than in reality. Let the imagination go. Let the reality stand. You're done narrating your price to people who pay in promises. You're done selling your time at a discount. You're done making your mind a waiting room. You are walking out into the air that belongs to you. Type this in the comments to lock it in and show yourself to the world. Silence is power. Stay with me, because next we'll map the Stoic frame that keeps this boundary strong when tests come. From late-night messages to friendly bait to let's just talk. And how you hold the line without drama, without hate, and without losing your center. Number 2, the Stoic frame. Control what's yours, release what isn't. Freedom begins the moment you stop trying to control what never belonged to you. My friends, here's the clean line. You own your attention, your standards, your effort, your response. You do not own their maturity, their timing, their apologies, or their understanding. Marcus Aurelius said, "You always own the option of having no opinion." In plain words, you always own the option to not engage. That's not cold, that's clear, that's not pride, that's peace. The Stoic frame is simple and strong. Hold what is yours with both hands. Let go of what isn't with both shoulders relaxed. Picture this. You're holding two ropes on a windy cliff. One rope is yours, your breath, your schedule, your health, your mission. The other rope is theirs, their reactions, their stories, their tests. You've been gripping both, knuckles white, trying to keep the second rope from dragging you over the edge. The wind picks up. The cliff crumbles. The truth arrives. The only way to live is to drop the rope that was never yours. You keep your rope. You keep your life. That's the Stoic frame, not a trick. A transfer of control back where it belongs. They will test this. They'll send half answers, friendly bait, jokes that tug the memory, a "hey stranger," "we should talk," a "why so serious." They'll play chess with your calm. But understand the board now. Your queen is your attention. If they can move your queen, the game is already lost. So you stop playing the board that isn't yours. You leave the table and bring the game back to your body, your breath, your daily disciplines. Seneca said, "He who is brave is free." Bravery here is not the roar, it's the refusal. It's the quiet decision to build a life that cannot be auctioned off to someone else's mood. Let's break a lie that keeps people trapped. If you're kind, you must be available. No. Kindness without boundaries becomes gasoline for chaos. You can be a good person and still be a locked door. You can wish them well and still choose silence. You can hold compassion and still hold your line. The Stoic frame separates intention from access. Your intention can be clean, no hatred, no revenge, while your access stays closed. That's grown man calm, not childish punishment. Another picture. Your mind is a gym. Every thought is a weight. When you chase their explanations, you end up lifting their weights, working out their issues, exhausting your nervous system for results that never show on your body. The Stoic frame says, rack those weights. Lift your own. Train the muscles that move your life forward. Sleep on time. Eat like you respect tomorrow. Lift something heavy. Read something wise. Write something true. Make something real. You'll notice something funny. When your days get heavier with purpose, their bait gets lighter in your hands. It slips right through. Will it be difficult? Yes. The first mornings will feel weird. You'll reach for the phone like a phantom limb. Your brain will ask for the old hit. Check, compare, rehearse, reopen. But repetition builds reality. Instead of checking them, check your breath. In for 4, out for 6. Instead of rehearsing speeches, rehearse standards. I don't chase confusion. I don't reward disrespect. I don't rent my peace. Instead of reopening loops, open your schedule. Put one meaningful task in the first 90 minutes. Crush it. You'll feel your backbone return in small clicks, like a door locking properly for the first time in years. Expect pushback from them and from your own mind. They might call you distant, dramatic, cruel. That's okay. Epictetus warned us, if you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish. Let them misunderstand now so your life can be understood later. Your own mind might whisper, maybe one last message, maybe just clarify. That's the addiction talking. Addiction to approval, to control, to closure. The cure is repetition of truth. You don't control how they see you. You control what you feed your soul. Here's a softer metaphor with a little smile. Your peace is a garden. Every ping that doesn't deserve you is a goat nibbling at your leaves. You used to chase goats around with a broom, shouting, sweating, losing fruit. The Stoic frame builds a fence. Goats can bleat, goats can glance, goats can go. Your fence doesn't argue, it just stands. And your garden? It finally grows big enough to feed a future you haven't even met yet. Notice how your body tells the story before your mind admits it. When you stop engaging, your shoulders drop, sleep deepens, meals taste like meals, not memories. Even laughter returns in small, honest bursts. That's the sign you're back in control of the only domain you ever truly owned, yourself. And the bonus? Control over the self feels like control over life. Not because life obeys you, but because you respond to life from solid ground. A quick word on mercy and standards. Mercy means you don't curse them when their name appears. Standards mean you don't invite them back into the old pattern. You can hold both without conflict. If they truly want a bridge, they'll bring wood and nails, not words and weather. You won't carry their half anymore. You'll meet them at the line with clarity. This is how we speak. This is how we act. This is what respect looks like when it's real. And if that line is too high for them, it's exactly the right height for you. So, my friends, the Stoic frame is not a weapon, it's a way. You are not freezing. You are focusing. You are not punishing. You are prioritizing. You are not playing hard to get. You're hard to move by design. Let them call it cold while you call it calm. Let them call it distance while you call it dignity. Your life is speaking a new language now. Fewer arguments, more actions. Fewer loops, more ladders. Fewer storms, more shores. Type this to anchor it and show yourself to the world. I guard my peace. Stay with me, because next we'll uncover why your absence hits harder than any message, the psychology of loss aversion, and how that quiet law of the mind teaches your words never could. Number 3, loss aversion, why your absence hits harder than your words. People don't miss what you said, they miss what they can no longer have. Here's the plain truth, my friends. The mind is wired to feel losses more painfully than it celebrates gains. You can pour 1,000 perfect sentences into a situation and watch them bounce off like rain on stone. Then you go quiet, truly quiet, and suddenly everything you tried to explain begins to echo, not because your words changed, but because your access ended. Your absence is the amplifier your speeches never were. That's loss aversion at work. When your presence was free and constant, they could treat it like background music. When the music stops, the silence roars. Imagine a house with a soft hum in the walls. You never notice it until the power goes out. Now every room feels empty, every footstep louder, every clock too slow. Your presence used to be that steady hum, reliable, warm, taken for granted because it never failed. The moment you cut the power, the stillness announces itself. They will stand in rooms they once breezed through and feel the lack of you in the air, not a punishment. A physics lesson. When something has weight and you remove it, people feel the drop. This is why your texts never landed the way you hoped. Gains are easy to ignore. Loss is a teacher with sharp edges. While you were available, they could afford to be careless. I'll reply later. They'll understand. They aren't going anywhere. Access made them lazy. Absence makes them sober. They start asking the questions you begged them to ask before. What did we overlook? What did we assume? What did we think we owned that we never actually earned? Under loss aversion, the mind reassigns value. Suddenly, your steadiness isn't ordinary, it's rare. Your loyalty isn't expected, it's exceptional. Your calm isn't boring, it's gold. Let's break a common lie. If I just say it better, they'll get it. No, my friends, You weren't dealing with a comprehension problem, you were dealing with a comfort problem. They were comfortable. Comfort dulls sensitivity. When your attention is always there, the brain stops measuring it. That's why your absence shocks the system. It recalibrates the scale. What once weighed nothing now hits like stone. You didn't become more valuable overnight. You stopped subsidizing their ability to ignore value. Here's where it stings on their side. They try to replace the feeling quickly. New chats, new faces, new noise. At first, it works like a painkiller. Then the painkiller wears off. They realize the shape of what they lost doesn't fit easily. Your reliability wasn't a trick, it was a discipline. Your presence wasn't clingy, it was committed. Your way of listening wasn't manipulation, it was maturity. Each new mismatch reminds them of the old match. That's contrast, and contrast is the cousin of loss aversion. When two experiences sit side by side, the weaker one throws the stronger into high relief. Your absence keeps showing up in what's present. You might wonder why this feels so unfair, why the appreciation arrives only after you're gone. It's not personal, it's human. We don't notice our lungs until the air gets thin. We don't honor our knees until the stairs get steep. And people don't value a steady heart until the room goes quiet. You are not obligated to stick around while they learn this. You are not a tutor for someone else's late homework. Your silence lets reality teach the class. Will this be hard for you too? Absolutely. Loss aversion lives in your brain as well. You'll feel the tug to recover what you gave up, even if what you gave up was hurting you. Your mind will whisper, maybe just one message, just to see. That's not love speaking, that's withdrawal. Sit through it, drink water, move your body, put your hands on something real, iron, wood, paper, soil. Your nervous system understands contact with the physical world better than contact with a glowing screen. Each hour you hold your boundary, your brain rewrites the script. We do not chase what confuses us. We invest where the returns are real. Let's use another metaphor you won't forget. Your attention is a limited edition ticket. When it's everywhere, it's resale trash, easy to toss, easy to misplace. When it's rare, people frame it. They count the days. They stop stepping on it with muddy shoes. For too long, you handed out tickets at the door without checking the dress code. Loss aversion is the bouncer you finally hired. The velvet rope is up, not to make a scene, but to maintain the scene. Those who belong will recognize the standard. Those who don't will complain about the vibe. Either way, your room stays clean. From a Stoic lens, nothing here is cruel. You're not trying to control their feelings, you're controlling your access. As Marcus said, you own the option of having no opinion, no reaction, no rent-free space in your head. And here's a twist of humor with a sharp edge. The minute you stop responding, watch how their creativity returns. Suddenly they can type paragraphs. Suddenly they can reflect. Suddenly they can remember dates and details. Loss aversion turned on the lights they insisted were broken. You didn't repair anything. You removed the excuse. If they come back with words, remember how loss aversion works. The pain of losing access creates motivation. Short-term, intense, sometimes theatrical. Don't confuse intensity with integrity. Time reveals which is which. You don't need to be punished. You don't need to gloat. You simply require proof, not promises, patterns, not paragraphs. The standard is not a speech. It's a schedule, a tone, a consistency that doesn't wobble when the weather does. If they can't hold it, you won't hold space for the relapse. And for you, let the lesson cut clean. Your value isn't louder in speeches, it's clearer in scarcity. You honor yourself by limiting where your presence lives. You become more peaceful, not by controlling who understands you, but by controlling who gets to experience you. That's grown man math. No theatrics, just thresholds. Anyone can want you when you're free. Only the worthy want you when you're costly. So we land here with strength and a smile. You don't have to convince anyone again. You don't have to narrate your worth to people who mute the channel. Let loss aversion do the heavy teaching while you do the heavy lifting. On your body, your craft, your calling, the right ones learn, the wrong ones leave. Either way, you win your life back. Type this in the comments to lock it in. My attention is premium. Stay with me, because next we'll take this even deeper. How absence becomes a mirror that removes every exit, and why reflection without your rebuttal is the most honest teacher they'll ever meet. Number 4, absence as a mirror. Silence removes the exits so truth can walk in. My friends, here's the part most people never understand. Your absence isn't empty, it's reflective. When you stop explaining, the room gets quiet, and in that quiet, their own choices echo back at them. Before, every argument gave them a door to escape through, blame you, twist your words, change the subject, throw some bait. But when you go still, there is nowhere to run. The only thing left to face is the mirror. And mirrors are honest in a way debates never are. Picture this, a bright theatre stage. For months the lights were hot, the dialogue loud, the scenes dramatic. Then one day the curtain drops and the house lights go up. No music, no applause, just the creak of the chairs and the leftover props. That's your absence. The show is over. Now they're not performing, they're remembering lines they threw carelessly, moments they shrugged off, promises they made like confetti. In your silence, those pieces don't blow away, they settle. And when the air clears, the floor tells a story. They will ask themselves the questions you used to carry. Why did we keep pushing? Why did we act like their steadiness was endless? Why were we so loud when we should have been listening? This is the power of the mirror. There's no counter-argument, no quick fix, no dopamine drip from a back and forth. It's just them, their reflection, and the timeline they authored. Dark psychology calls this the end of externalization, when you can't throw the problem outside yourself anymore. The Stoics would call it reality, plain and unpainted. Let's break a lie right now. If you're silent, nothing happens. Wrong. In silence, everything that was covered starts showing. Think about fog over a lake. When the sun rises, the fog lifts. Not because the lake argues, but because the light makes hiding impossible. Your absence is that light, not bright with drama, bright with clarity. They see the times they shrugged at your boundaries. They see the jokes that were jabs. They see how often they expected forgiveness without repair. They see how comfortable they got with the idea that you'd always be there. And the longer they look, the less flattering the picture becomes. Here's a softer metaphor with a little grin. You're a high-quality mirror in a changing room. People loved you when you showed them what they wanted to see, but you never changed shape. They changed angles. When you stand still, the angle becomes honest. No flattering lights, no filters, just fit. That's why absence stings. There's no "maybe you misunderstood me" left to hide behind. The fit is the fit. Will they try to fog the mirror again? Of course. They'll send a "hey," a meme, a memory, a "remember that time," a "we should talk." All of these are little puffs of steam aimed at your glass. They're not always evil. Sometimes they're simply afraid. Afraid of what the mirror is showing them. Afraid of owning the part they played. Afraid of discovering that the person they thought would always orbit them has found gravity elsewhere. Your job is not to wipe away their fear. Your job is to keep the mirror steady. Why is this so hard for you? Because you were the explainer, the lifter, the fixer. You want to help them name what they're seeing. You want to guide them to the insight. You want to be kind. but kindness without boundaries becomes self-harm. Remember Epictetus, we are not disturbed by things, but by the views we take of them. Their view must change, and it won't change while they can borrow yours. If you keep supplying their perspective, they'll keep skipping the homework. Absence returns the assignment to the rightful desk. Notice how your body reacts when you hold the silence. The first days, it fidgets. You reach for your phone. You draft replies you never send. You start a sentence in your head, then stop. That's your nervous system learning a new rule. We don't manage other people's mirrors. Breathe, walk, lift. Read, journal, one page. Simple lines, not poetry. Here's what happened. Here's what I felt. Here's what I'm choosing. You'll feel something subtle and strong. Your spine settling into itself. Calm is weight-bearing. You can stand in it. From their side, the mirror does slow work. At first, they may deny what they see. Then they bargain with it. Then sometimes they rage at it. Finally, if they're honest, they accept it. Accept what, exactly? That effort has to replace entitlement. That access has to be earned, not assumed. That kindness isn't infinite when respect is missing. Acceptance is where real change begins, but it doesn't need you to hold the pen. The mirror is the teacher now. A small, honest laugh here. Watch how memory suddenly improves when the mirror stays in place. Dates become clear, details sharpen, context returns. It turns out their recall issues weren't technical, they were motivational. Absence removes the why try story. If they want back in, they must meet the glass with clean hands. If they do approach again, the mirror still helps you. You don't need a speech, you need standards. Standards are the frame around the glass. Steady, simple, non-negotiable. Respect in tone, consistency in actions, repair without theatrics. If that shows up, you can consider a different conversation. If it doesn't, the mirror remains closed for service, and you go on building a life that reflects your values without explanation. Here's the part I want you to keep in your pocket. The mirror doesn't mock, it just reflects. Your absence isn't spite, it's structure. You're not saying, look how wrong you were. You're saying, this is the only way I can live right. You wish them well without wishing yourself away. You keep your peace without keeping score. You return your energy to the people and projects that multiply it, your health, your craft, your faith, your family, your future. So yes, absence is a mirror, and it is mercy. Mercy for you, because you stop bleeding into a bucket with holes. Mercy for them, because real seeing is the only doorway to real change. It's not dramatic, it's disciplined, it's not loud, it's lasting. And the longer the mirror stands, the more honest everyone becomes, including you. Type this in the comments to anchor it and show yourself to the world. My absence is truth. Stay with me, because next we'll watch what happens when the switches they use to flip no longer work. The quiet collapse of control, and how your steady boundary turns every old lever into dead air. Number 5. Collapse of control, access revoked, power returned. Control isn't power, consistency is. My friends, here's the real shift. When your silence becomes policy, the old levers stop working, the ping that used to pull you across town, dead, the sudden urgent that used to outrank your plans, quiet, the breadcrumb, just enough warmth to keep you orbiting, crumbles in your hand. That's the collapse of control, not an explosion. A quiet power outage where every switch they flip returns the same message. No current. Picture a control room filled with blinking buttons and glowing dials. For months, maybe years, they stood at that panel and learned your circuitry. Press jealousy, get a response. Press guilt, Watch you explain, press nostalgia, and you show up with a smile and a second chance. Then one day the breakers are pulled, the lights go dark, they press, nothing, they twist, nothing. They slam the console, nothing. The machine hasn't broken. You've unplugged it from their power source and rewired it to yours. Let's ask the hard questions they start asking themselves when this happens. Since when does silence hold? Why aren't they defending themselves? Why doesn't the old bait bite? Did we ever have real influence? Or were we just borrowing their kindness? Those questions sting because they reveal the truth. What looked like control was always access, and access was always granted, not owned. When you revoke access, counterfeit power dissolves. Break this lie right now. If you were truly strong, you'd still be able to engage and not be affected. No, strength isn't volunteering for storms to prove you can swim. Strength is reading the weather and staying on shore when the water lies. The Stoics never worshipped friction, they worshipped focus. Marcus Aurelius didn't say, "Go argue with every fool." He said, "You always own the option of having no opinion." In easy English, your quiet refusal is a valid response, not a failure of courage. Why is this stage difficult for you? Because your nervous system was trained to dance when those levers clicked. A certain tone pings your old script. Explain, defend, fix. The body remembers. You feel the micro-urge. Prove your side, straighten the record, return one last call. Just to be fair. Breathe. That urge is not moral duty, it's muscle memory. Retrain it. Put both feet on the ground. Name the moment out loud. This is a lever. Levers don't move me. Take a sip of water. Step outside. Touch something real. A doorknob, a tree, the steering wheel. Re-enter your body. The loop can't grab what's fully present. Another metaphor for your pocket. You're an operating system update. The old apps ask for permissions they used to own, contacts, location, microphone. The update prompts a new question. Allow while using. Allow once. Don't you allow? For a long time, they were on always allow. Now most requests get don't allow. Not as punishment, because those apps leaked your battery and sold your data. The OS didn't turn evil. It matured. On their side, watch for 3 classic reactions to the collapse of control: theatrical remorse, strategic confusion, and baited nostalgia. Theatrical remorse sounds like paragraphs and promises that arrive fast and loud. Strategic confusion plays dumb. I don't know what you want from us. Baited nostalgia is the highlight reel. Remember that time, designed to drape yesterday over today. None of these are always malicious. Sometimes they're just panicking, but panic doesn't rebuild patterns. Let time do the separating. Integrity repeats. The theater performs. A little humor with a sharp edge. The moment you stop answering, everyone becomes a poet. Suddenly, they can write, remember, and reflect. That's not magic, that's motivation. Loss of access clarifies priorities. Your job isn't to reward urgency, it's to evaluate consistency. Standards over speeches, patterns over paragraphs, presence over promises. From a Stoic angle, this is freedom in motion. Seneca said, "He who is brave is free." Bravery here isn't marching into the old maze again. It's refusing to play tag in a hallway of mirrors. You're not dodging, you're defining. You're not ghosting, you're governing. And governance looks boring from the outside. You go to bed on time, lift what's heavy, do what compounds, speak little, watch much. Boredom is a compliment. It means chaos has been evicted. Let's talk about mercy without access. You can wish them well while keeping the door shut. You can forgive the person while refusing the pattern. You can answer once with clarity. We don't repeat loops. Respect looks like X. If that's not possible, I wish you peace. And then let silence hold. Think of it like posting hours on your shop window. You're not angry that someone arrived at midnight. You're closed. Come back when it's daylight and the policy is visible. Will they accuse you of cruelty, pride, or manipulation? Sometimes. People who lose levers often rename your boundary as a flaw so they don't have to face the downgrade. Don't fight the label. Let it pass. The calm test is internal. Do you feel heavier or lighter after holding your line? Heavier means you bent your standard. Lighter means you honored it. The body tells the truth quicker than the mind. A quick practice to anchor this stage. Write 3 lines every morning. What I control today. What I release today. One action that compounds my future. Then do the action before noon. Momentum is a lock on the door. By afternoon, the levers feel silly, like a toddler trying your car keys on a brick wall. Now, the gift in all of this, the collapse of their control becomes the rise of your consistency. Your calendar stabilizes, your mood flattens, in a good way. Fewer spikes, fewer crashes. The mind stops checking the horizon for storms and starts checking the ground for seeds. You don't need to announce the change. It shows in your posture, in your sleep, in the way your laughter sounds like you again. So we landed the plane with clarity and courage. You didn't become hard, you became steady. You didn't become unreachable, you became selective. You didn't become cruel, you became clear. Control was their addiction. Consistency is your recovery. Keep the breakers off. Keep your systems clean, and let every dead switch teach the same quiet lesson. Access was a privilege, not a right. Type this in the comments to anchor it and show yourself to the world. Consistency is power. Stay with me, because next we'll step into the engine room of the mind, the what-if spiral. Why unanswered questions become their own punishment, and how your calm refusal keeps those loops from renting space in your head. Number 6. The what-if spiral. Questions that never find answers. Unanswered questions are a prison you escape by refusing to be the warden. My friends, here's the clean truth. The mind hates open loops. It wants an answer, any answer, even a bad one, just to stop the noise. When you choose silence, real, steady, permanent silence, you don't punish them, you remove the easy answers. And that's when the what-if spiral begins. What if we pushed too far? What if we mistook kindness for weakness? What if we lost something we won't find again? Those questions have no soft landing because the usual cushions, your explanations, your reassurance, your late-night paragraphs are gone. The room gets quiet and the echo gets loud. Imagine a hallway with 100 doors. Every door used to have your name on it. Explain, defend, just this once. Be the bigger person. They could yank any handle and you'd appear with a speech and a second chance. Now those doors are sealed, not with anger, with principle. They try one handle, then the next. Nothing. The hallway keeps stretching. That's the spiral. Not a circle, a corridor that refuses to end because it has no exit, that doesn't require accountability. In that space, the mind starts doing its real work. Not bargaining, reckoning. Let's break a lie we were fed. Closure comes when both sides talk it out. Sometimes. But often closure comes when one side stops lying to themselves. Epictetus said, "We are not disturbed by things, but by the views we take of them." Your silence forces a new view. There is no script to manipulate, no tone to twist, no reaction to farm for attention. All that's left is the timeline and the truth. The what-if spiral becomes a mirror maze. Every angle shows a different version of the same mistake. Will they try to end the spiral with shortcuts? Of course. A joke, a memory, a late night, hey, a sudden poem about growth. Shortcuts are comfort disguised as effort. Real effort is different. It sounds like ownership. It looks like a repair. It moves like consistency. The spiral punishes shortcuts because they slide off glass. Only clean hands can hold a mirror. Now, be honest with yourself. Your brain knows spirals too. What if I never feel this connected again? What if I overreacted? What if they finally get it the day after I move on? Those aren't warnings, they're withdrawals. Your nervous system got used to chasing certainty. It thinks certainty equals safety. But certainty without standards is just a leash around your peace. Breathe, plant your feet, ask the question that saves lives. Does this thought build me? If the answer is no, it's not wisdom, it's worry in a costume. Here's a picture you'll remember. You're a pilot in the clouds, instruments on, visibility low. Panic wants you to yank the yoke and feel your way out. That gets planes killed. What saves pilots is trust in the instruments. Altitude, heading, airspeed. Your instruments are your standards. Altitude, self-respect. Heading, mission. Airspeed, daily discipline. Fly the panel, don't follow the fear. Clouds are not forever. And when you break through, you'll see the horizon you almost threw away just to stop the shaking. There's humor in this if you squint. The moment you stop answering, everybody turns into a philosopher. Suddenly, they can reflect, remember, empathize. The what-if spiral creates motivation they swore they didn't have. Respect that the mind works like this, understand it, but do not reward it. The rule is simple. Proof over paragraphs, patterns over promises, presence over performance. If the spiral produces real change, you'll see it without a speech. From a Stoic lens, your job isn't to stop their spiral, it's to stop renting its space in your head. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." Keep your palette clean. No doom-scrolling their pages, no detective work, no rehearsed speeches in a shower that used to be a confessional. Replace loops with ladders, lift something heavy, read something wise, write 10 lines of truth. Call someone who knows your real name, not the story you tried to survive in. Build a day so full of purpose the past has to book an appointment. Will the spiral ever end for them? Sometimes yes, sometimes no. That's not your assignment. The assignment is this. Make peace your new default, not a vacation you beg for between storms. The spiral is their weather. Your silence is your climate. Climate wins over weather, slowly, steadily, inevitably. One more metaphor, sharp and simple. Think of your attention like a lighthouse lens. Every what-if smudges the glass. Ships crash when lenses aren't clean. You don't debate with smudges, you wipe them off. Breath in for 4, out for 6. Label the thought, what if? Then place it on a shelf called Not My Job. Return to the beam. Your beam is your routine. Your routine is your freedom. And yes, someone will call your silence cruel. Let them. Cruelty manipulates. Silence clarifies. Cruelty corners. Silence creates space. You are not slamming doors to trap anyone. You are leaving them open to the only person who can walk them through, themselves. The what-if spiral is not your enemy. It's a teacher you don't have to pay for or supervise. While it teaches, you build. So here's where we land with calm power. Your refusal to answer every question is not avoidance, it's leadership. Leaders don't attend every argument they're invited to. They protect the mission, set the standard, and let reality educate. You've said enough. You've given enough. Now, your life gets to speak, and it speaks in results. Steadier sleep, stronger body, cleaner schedule, clearer mind, quieter soul. Type this in the comments to lock it in and show yourself to the world. I choose calm. If this message hit the spot, my friends, press like, subscribe, and share it with a brother who needs to hear it today. Stay with me, we're just getting warmed up.